Hey guys, haven't made a video in a while. I just kind of wanted to check in. Um, there is so much going on right now um, in the JW world. I mean, the pot has really been stirred. So much protesting going on, so much media attention, lawsuits. I mean, you name it. I mean, it is like the crap has really been stirred. Which is great. It's a long time coming. I want to do some videos in the future with my Larry, just to let you know like what are like the changes that has occurred since he left the organization, since I left the organization, um, and and I got to thinking, and I thought that maybe I would, as a point of encouragement, I would share with you that officially, I turned in my letter of disassociation in November 2012. So 6 years later, I can tell you that I know of, not only did me and two of my sisters leave the organization, but so did I know of a family, a husband and wife and kids, a couple of kids that um, they had stopped going, but they were contemplating returning to the hall, and then they come across the information, and so now they're out of the organization. There's another sister, actually two other sisters, and another brother that I know of that have left. So that's a lot of people that just me and my little world know of. And I can't imagine all the people that you may know that have left the organization in the last few years. I think for everybody, it's always different. You never know what's going to be the little point that gets under somebody's skin, or that they just their mind just can't comprehend about the organization. They just can't get past it. So it's for everybody. It's always something different. For me, it was Beth Sareem, and then learning, because I didn't even realize that the teaching was that Jesus died only for the 144,000. Well, the Bible clearly says that he died for all. So that was just a no-brainer for me. And I'm like, well, I'm not a scholar, but I think I can figure out when Jesus says, I died for all, that he died for all. And so I just, I knew that was, I knew that that just was done. That was just done for me at that point. So I tried hard, though. I tried hard to stay in the organization originally, like, try to explain things away, and well, maybe, and could have been, but there was just some things you just can't get around, and for me, those were a couple of those issues. So there are people that are leaving the organization. I think that I can't even imagine where this is going to go. People, it seems like it's really changing. When I was watching some of the feedback from the London protest, and how some of the brothers and sisters were telling the attendants, who usually boss people around and tell them, they can't go and talk, to the protesters. They didn't want you looking in the directions. And a lot of the other videos, the brothers have held arm in arm and made a little blockade so that you couldn't even see the protesters. But, in London, it seemed to be a little different, and there were even stories that Neil gave about, and I think someone else too. I don't know if it was Louise or somebody else, but anyway, that were saying that the brothers, even when the attendants come over, that they were like, well, I'll make up my own mind. So there was that little spark of independence, which is a beautiful thing to see. And it's like it seems like the fear factor has diminished a little bit, as far as horrible, wicked apostates, at least, you know, during that protest list that day. So that was good. And you know, you never know, all the little eyeballs that were looking at those signs in their peripheral vision. You know, we don't know where that's going to go. And I hope for them that they took note of some of the signs. The signs were great. The turnout was great. I wish I could have gone. I would have liked to. And I talked about it. I even reserved a room, but it turned out that I was able to get training for home hemodialysis for Lorenzo, which you know, we need to do. So we really need to focus on his health, and so that took the priority, of course. So I had to shelve London, but anyway, so who knows what the future is going to hold. And I do want to, you know, because of all the health issues that we've had to focus on, and financial hurdles that we have to get through, so I've kind of put the protesting on the side. But I do want to get back, because my local Kingdom Hall is calling me, and I think I'm going to get back there and just do some grassroots picketing or protesting, however you want to say it. So I think I'll do that, and when the time is right. I do want to, you know, make videos with him and share our lives, and even though we have a lot of struggles and concerns and worries, you know, like everybody does, our lives are filled with love and laughter and happiness. We overflow in those departments, and looking back to my witness life, it was an easier time. It was a less busy time for me. But it was also full of loneliness and unhappiness. So I'm happy with where my life is at, with all the changes that have come. I can tell you that the shunning thing from the family members is not something that I've been able to really just kind of get past and like, oh, whatever. For me, that's an issue. I can't imagine a day where it's not going to be an issue. You know, I think it's hurtful and painful. 6 years later, as it was the first year, you know, it's wrong is wrong, and you know, there's no changing that. When someone's being hurtful, it's hurtful, and it's going to be hurtful year 1, 2, 3, and so on. I can tell you that over the years, the noose around the necks of the witnesses has tightened. I can tell you that, you know, before, like, we would have, my mother and I would have these short and awkward conversations, which, you know, most of the time turned into her preaching and lecturing. But now she doesn't even take my calls. She's just like the mother in that video who ignores her daughter's phone call when she sees her number pop up. And so that's where I'm at this point. So she's had to, you know, she's really had to take a step. She's been forced to take a step back. Or, you know, so anyway. So that's where we are with that. I hope that's not the case for you guys. I hope that you have better stories, but for me, there's just really no contact at all. And I think that's sad, because if I say so myself, been a pretty great daughter. I love my mom, and I do anything for her, and have done lots of things, and you know, would like to continue that, but you know, it is what it is, and that's where we are. Well, duty calls. I was just checking in with you guys, and hopefully you'll see me in the future in other videos. See ya.